Hi people, welcome to Blue K Jazz Dancing in my dance lab. This is a picture of me, one of the greatest pictures of me coming back to the stage, and I call it a rebirth of a cool picture. What happened, I went back to university 5 years to develop my own production company, and while I was there I did a lot of work in live improvisation and performance, working in front of a camera every day as much as I could, because university I went through a lot of stress. As an individual who was unaware, I suffered 41 years with dyslexia, unknown as a thorn in my side. Going to university opened up the door to me to find out first I was dyslexic, and dyslexia led to ailments, to injuries, to a lot of key things in my life as an individual. And what happened, irony, I used dance to replenish it. I used dance to keep me focused in doing some key things. So I've written down some information for some people, and what's happening right now. Advanced dancers are being asked to share why they danced. And I share with people in COVID202O an amazing story why I dance. Starts with me being a child who with undiagnosed dyslexia. That's one of the problems I had. What we generally tend to do, they say, is dyslexic individuals tend to gravitate towards creative activities that make them feel good about who they are. So you'll find that for me is dance, makes me feel good about who I am. Dancing in my community, dancing as a hobby, and dancing as a profession. These two things, I will tell you, have made me feel on top of the world. And I want to share with people, I use dance to reduce my stress, my anxiety, my tension, my frustration, my anger. Because I had anger as a person growing up who couldn't understand why I couldn't learn like my brother and sister. My sister's younger than me, but she learns faster than me. And I couldn't understand that. My anger because of the way people treated me, because I had special education needs. I was written off as a special education needs child. I was written off in my school. Anger because of social exclusion by the society, social marginalization is one of the key things. Ill treatment, called dumb nigger walk coon, which made me feel good about my dark skin because I was treated badly. 60s child, 70s, 80s child. Dark skin was a persecution. That time the Black and White Minstrel Show was on. People don't know the Black and White Minstrel Show was in Britain in theatres from 1830 to 1987. So people still were calling me a minstrel, a gollywog in 1987. There were some of the insults that I received from individuals. You have to understand, racial insults I received up to the 2000, up to the 2005, actually 2006, Oxford Brookes University, 05, called a black bastard. Amazing story. The darkness of my skin was spoke of, but I said to people, well, my skin isn't black; it's actually brown. So quite funny for me as an individual. So my involvement in dance has been from a number of reasons, come from a number of contexts, and I want to give you the context in 2020. I used it through research as a dancer to boost my immune system, to boost my cardiovascular, to boost my cognition, to boost my communication skills, to boost my artistic learning, training, development, boost my creativity, boost my career employability, particularly my own dance. This is my own dance style. I'm dancing on stage here, and this is very, very important because I always wanted to create my own jazz dance style as an individual. I'd done many different jazz dance styles, explored, but I couldn't really express as an artist because I tell stories through dance. When you telling stories through dance, you need movement that's relevant to what you want to tell stories through. So one of the key things is, one of the greatest movies I love and always will love is West Side Story. It's one of the greatest movies in respect to using dance to tell a story, and it does. Guys and Dolls does the same. So the whole thing about musicals, dance enabled the storyteller to tell a story, and that's what I use dance for. But I need my own language because that dancing in the 50s is totally different. It drew upon the actual social dancing, the underground dancing. And so what happened was, for me, I drew upon my underground dancing because I wanted to be a storyteller that used movement, that communicated ideas and concepts that came from the actual living that I experienced as a person. Expressed that, used the clothes that we danced in. So these are some of the clothes that this is how I look now. So this is important. This is why would I use 1950? I wouldn't, unless I want to juxtaposition an idea. What you want to do is use something that's relating to your time that you're living in. And so I call it Rebirth for the Cool is one of my three key things. And coming back to stage, I'm involved in live improvisational performance as an individual. That is what I specialize in as an individual. Live improvisational performance actually improved my cognition, improved my well-being, improved my creative outlook and my creative thinking, people, because it engaged me in improvisational performance. And improvisational performance is exploring, it's devising, and it's creating something original through intensive improvisation. To do intensive improvisation, you have to be physically fit. I'll tell you, my art form, UK jazz dance, basically had real incentives, which were all days, all nighters, weekenders. That means you danced all through the weekend, you danced all day, you danced all night. You know what I mean? And you had to physically train yourself to do that, because my art form's a dance sport. That's one of the beautiful things about it, as well as being it's a virtuoso dance sport. And what happened, people went to all days with their crews, with their groups. So what happens, you dance with yourself, but you also dance against other people, and you could dance against people all day in competition. That's how it was, do you know what I'm saying? And why it did, it opened up to opens up to a number of things. One of the things it opens up to ecstasy, raise our consciousness. That's one of the key things. It really gave us an insight to different ways of creating and learning and developing. Gave us insights to new alternative ways of learning, thinking, and developing through dance. And my success as a self-trained dancer, as a person who went on to training, was my self-training, because the way I self-train myself is more intense than actually when I train, and it's broader. One of the key things when I went into train dancing paralyzes people. People think train dancing opens you up. They say contemporary dance, oh, it makes you more adaptable and flexible. It does not. And I tell you that from doing contemporary dance and from being a contemporary dancer. It restricts you unless you're a dancer who's trained to pioneer their own style. UK jazz dancers were expected to pioneer their own styles. Do you understand that? So most people, they learn jazz. Yes, I learned jazz and created my own style. I learned ballet, created my own style of using ballet. I learned tap, I developed my own style of using tap. Do you understand the difference? Right, most people mimic what they've been given. They don't do any work into the research development into dance. I was always doing research and development into dance. So one of the reasons why I dance is for my own research and development. Do you understand?